Do it for Christ. Only got one life. Got one shot at this, I gotta do it right. Yeah, I gotta do it right. Yeah, gotta do it right. Yeah. Do it for Christ. Only got one life. Got one shot at this, I gotta do it right. Yeah, I gotta do it right.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
How you doing?
Guess what day it is?
It's Wealthy Marriage Wednesday.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, greetings.
Come on in.
Greetings.
Come on in.
Greetings to you.
Come on,
This is
y'all.
John Joy with a brand new vibe, brand new look.
Yes. Yes.
We happy to see everybody.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all.
It's 2024.
Yeah, it's 2024. Last time we talked about some heavy stuff. It's 2024. We ain't planning with y'all in 2024.
Yep.
We serious about this thing in 2024. And so hold on, I want y'all to take a second, just share this out.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah, put a little share on it. Tag somebody who's married, getting married, partnering, wanting to partner.
Right.
Thank you for being on. Shoot, take the time, take a quick share. I'm gonna look on here and see if I can't share this too. You're gonna share it to all the special places. Make sure you get a chance to check it out. We got a great time for you all because this year we told you that we was gonna go through this book together. And so today you are going to get what we think is the most important parts of the book. So if you don't have it, you can just follow along with us and we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. But this is the book, Mom and Pop Millionaire Marriages, Financial Freedom is Better Together. How much sweeter is it to work with your boo thing, to work with your honey dip,
My husband.
your husband, your wife, bae. I don't even know if that's the thing. I made that up. And to get a chance to do it all together. And so that's what this channel is really designed for. Everything we talk about is about how you can work together in business and not choke each other out, not at least most of the time, unless she gets violent, and not do any of the other things that make marriage not good. And so I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to talk about our book and to be able to for us to be able to share some different nuggets with you while Joy gets this drink of water over here. She was pointing to the water and I was like, what did you point to? I don't even know. All right. But thank y'all very much. Today is a wonderful day.
It is.
Because today is a day that we are going to dig a little bit deeper into this topic of what makes a millionaire marriage. And people, last time we did our best to demystify millionaire marriages because there are how many million marriages are millionaires in the United States?
Oh, there's like 22 million.
How many?
20.
There's 22
million
millionaires in the United States.
Yes.
And whenever you hear that number, you got to say, if it's 22 million of them in the United States, well, why can't we be some of them?
You can.
And so that's what this is all about. It's like, how can we do the same thing that 22 million people have figured out? And there's a formula to it. And us being able to follow that formula is going to help us to be able to do the same thing for us and our families. So join us on this ride. You know, obviously we talk about real estate all the time, You know why? Because we real estate people.
Yes,
and so obviously, but today we're going to talk about this book, which is 3 Secrets to a Financially Successful Marriage. But specifically speaking to this financial freedom component, which is in the book. And
financially is better together.
There we go. And there's 2 books here that's a part of that.
Yes.
And so, but before we even get a chance to read the book or talk about the book, there's one thing that we have to understand is that you have to stop reading the book. This is a big piece that we put in. We said stop. We said don't even think about it if you only got one copy.
Yep.
Okay, and so let's stop right there. Why would we put a stop sign in the book and say everybody stop? We put a stop sign right at the beginning of the book.
Well, if you're married, if you're in a relationship, there's 2 people.
There's 2 people.
Yeah. So if you're talking about your relationship and freedom together, then you both need to have a copy of the book.
Why?
Because you can't talk about your finances and only be one-sided in it. You need both people in the conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now, for far too long, there's been too many of us who one person is the financial person, and then the other person knows nothing,
Yeah.
or the other person is the spender, and then the other person is the nerd and the budget person. And so you got the budget person and the nerd going head to head, and then for whatever reason, the financial situation doesn't work out right, or there's a mistrust or some past mismanagement or these different things. And so we're looking at it and we say, all right, well, the number one thing, and the reason why we put a stop sign as the number one thing in our book is because if you're not reading the same piece of information and getting on the same page, it's going to push you further and further away from each other.
Absolutely.
And for too long, we was like that.
Yeah.
You know, I was probably more the nerdy one, and Joy was like the one. She was like, she just really didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. I remember when we got together. And so she told me all this stuff. I was like, she was looking all kind of good. I'm talking about had everything that I like and was looking all cute and stuff like that. And then I looked at her and I said, oh man, you look kind of nice. And then she was telling me about her background. She was telling me how she was a little saved girl and, you know, how she liked to go to church. I was like, oh, I got me a church girl over here. And then she started cooking. I was like, oh man, she could cook too. And then one day, you know, she had surprised me and came over my place and cleaned up. And I was like, oh, snap, she cleaning up too and folding stuff. I was like, I don't even know folding. She does all this stuff. But the one thing she didn't tell me was that her credit score was like a 415 or a 420. I don't know what it was. It was low. It was amazingly low. And so it was stupendously low. And so I was like, okay, wow, that's different. And so she said immediately upon arrival is that I'm not good with money and I don't want to deal with it no more. And so immediately that responsibility was tossed over to me. And so the challenge of taking on the responsibility of helping somebody with a 400 credit score turn it into something in the 800 credit score, we could share that at a different time. Yes. But what I would say is that we both had two completely different outlooks on money. Yes. Joy was more free-spirited and an easy spending person. And I was more of a, hey, let's go save some money at Kroger. And why did you spend 85 cents on a canned good that should have cost 58 cents? Why do you need the Dole canned pineapples? Why can't we use the Kroger brand canned pineapples and let those Kroger brand canned pineapples be on sale?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And then
it was that serious.
It was that serious. It was so serious that I took over all the grocery shopping.
You did.
I was like, look, you know what? You're just not meeting the expectations.
I was. And I was happy to do it.
I fired her from grocery shopping. I did 100% of the grocery shopping. Until I didn't. Yeah. then I haven't. But I'm telling you, we stretched that thing out. But that's because the way I was thinking about it and the way she was thinking about it was completely different. And so
yeah, but you know the one thing we didn't do, we never really just sat down and talked about it.
We never sat down and talked about it. But when we did, these are the things that we talked about. Yes. And so we are going to gift that to you today, that these are the key points. And all of them are wrapped up in this book. These are the things that we talked about to help us who are completely different people. Yes. If you ever took two personality tests, Joy's personality and my personality are on the complete opposite sides of this spectrum. I think I'm an ENTJ, she's an I, and all the other letters that aren't me. All the other letters. So if you took Myers-Briggs, she's the exact opposite letters. We took a flight assessment, she's the exact opposite. She's just opposite. But opposites attract, but opposites can also be a massive explosion of horrible things if we're not having certain conversations. So today is one of those conversations, and we're going to dig right into it.
Let's dig into it.
All right, I'm gonna put it up here.
Come on, put it up here.
Bam. Oh. Check this out.
All right.
All right. This is the first part. This seems so simple.
Now I'm gonna tell you. You said you was the one that was good with math and finances. When does 1 + 1
equals 1?
Somebody check his math.
All right, so this is the first formula that we had to learn. This is the first formula you'll see in the book too. Is 1 + 1 = 1. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. All right, so let's see what it means. It means that being one flesh financially.
Yes.
And so therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. They shall become one flesh. Okay, now I got a question here for everybody. And here's the question: is can you be one flesh in marriage and then you got two bank accounts?
Ooh. I got an answer. Do y'all have an answer?
Now, can you be one flesh in marriage and then be separated financially? Okay, all right, you got a business bank account, you got a personal to personal, but do you know how much money is in another person's account? Do you make financial decisions together?
Right.
These are real questions. Like,
do you have to check in before you?
Do you got to check? Should you have to check in?
Oh, these are all good questions.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But the good question comes with a good answer.
It does.
And so we start thinking about, how do we answer these questions? Well, the first thing is to have the conversation and to be able to work through it. But to be one flesh, and this is probably one of the most major points that we ever have come to, is that for us to be together on the same page in business and investing, to be able to build a future and leave an inheritance for our children's children is not going to happen if we are completely separate in the way that we think about money.
That is true.
Because no matter what, our financial picture is going to be so much better together.
It is.
And so when we combine these things together, it helps us to be able to achieve higher heights and to be able to move further than we ever thought when we was using the same line of thinking when it comes to our money.
Yeah, so getting on one accord is very important when it comes to your finances.
Very good, very good. All right, hold on. I'm going to show you one more thing here because we just quoted this scripture, and this is Coach John and Joy. We're giving you exactly how we got on the same page with our money. Yes. The first one was realizing that we're one flesh, and then really leaning on the Lord to help us to be able to define how we should do with our money. And so then it's like this one question is really the topic of the day. Yes. Is right here. This is so significant. Is money is meant to be your servant. It is. But is money your master right now? And to many of us, we are not the master of our money.
That is true.
Money is the master of us.
Yeah, because we'll do anything. We'll do anything. If your job tells you got to be somewhere at this time, you're going to be there with no problem. And you're going to be there on time most of the time.
Yeah. And so money makes a great servant. But as a master, money is a tyrant. Money is a nasty. Money's just nasty. It's just nasty. It can be nasty.
It can.
It's a nasty master because you'll do whatever it says. Yeah. If it tells you got to miss your kid's birthday party, then you got to miss your kid's birthday party. If money tells you got to move from state to state, then you're going to move from state to state. Yeah. And you'll do whatever you think that you feel like you have to do. I'm just doing what I got to do. I'm doing what I have to do.
And then you miss out on those important events and things in life that won't ever happen again because you're chasing after.
But how much life have we missed chasing after some overtime, working separately? And this is a big piece, working separately in different places of employment and literally missing each other, missing our family, all in the process of doing what we have to do. And so the question that comes up, and the number one question, is money your master, or have you all mastered money? And so that's why the focus on investing. That's why it's so important to take the money that we have, the resources that we have, bring them together, and then put them into something that's going to pay us back into the future.
Yeah, So you got to choose. Are you going to let money master you, or are you going to master the money?
And that's that component right there. That one piece right there is a choice that a couple can make. Yeah. And there's a few things that will help us to make those decisions. Yeah. And there's 4 barriers that we found to mastering the money game.
Yes.
And these 4 barriers, if you can move past these 4 barriers, then you as a couple will master the money game. And these are the 4, really, honestly, these are the 4 conversations. Is communication problems. It's probably the biggest barrier. It's being able to talk to each other. I remember we get to talking to each other about money. Somebody get attitude. Who would get attitude? It might be me too. I get attitude too. If you get an attitude and I get an attitude. The Joy's probably about the nicest person.
I used to get an attitude at first because he was like, why you spending this on that? Or why you spend $2 to go get something from McDonald's for the kids? Like it was.
I would get an attitude. I'd be like, why you got our bank account in negative? Tell me with that. Yeah. Let me understand that.
Did happen a couple
Why is our bank account bounced up? Oh, well, yeah. Well, so we had a communication problem. Is that, I was thinking one thing, she was thinking we didn't talk about it. Yeah. And when we did talk about it, it was all right, well, you take this much, I'll take this much, or let's pay our bills and then you take this much. And it became very rigid as opposed to being a partnership. But as we were able to talk about it, it helped. And so overcoming communication problems, also unrealistic expectations. Like sometimes we just believe that people who grew up in a different house with different people and had different education, different influences, different life situations, that somehow that we all both supposed to think the same way about money.
Right. But when you come from two totally different backgrounds, it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then too, it's like, what's your expectation around spending? And like that's the big part. It's getting on the same expectations with spending. Like for me, I used to like to have. I never wash clothes. Like this is one thing that most people don't know. I didn't wash clothes. I used to take all my clothes to the dry cleaner, and they would dry clean them all and wash them and fold them and all of that stuff. And this was when I was single, and so there were certain things that I liked and certain things that I did. And it was just what it was. I like to wear nice clothes. I like to drive a bunch of different cars. So I had a bunch of cars. Whatever I wanted, I just went and just did it. And then we got together. So my spending habits, I wasn't a big spender, but I was a splurger. And so like I wouldn't spend a whole bunch of money just on small stuff that I thought was trivial. But when it came to buying bigger stuff, I would like, man, I want to buy something big. I would go buy it.
And I would just buy stuff. If I wanted it, I wanted it. And that's what I would buy. I would get it. And think about the aftermath afterwards. Hence, why my credit score was the way.
400. So you go from the 400 something
like,
credit score.
I can sign up for this credit and I can go and buy what I want at the store right now.
Right.
Let's go. Let's keep the party going.
Keep the party going.
Let's keep the party going.
Right. And so unrealistic expectations. So having the same expectations for spending for life. Yeah. Like sometimes if your life expectation was caviar and my life expectation was a fish sandwich from down on 27th Market, we're gonna have two different things going on.
That's a gap right there.
Right. That's a gap. That's a gap. I want to hit up Shorty's and get the Bob fish sandwich. Right. And you over here, you see what I'm saying? Talking about some caviar. I don't even know how to spell caviar. So these are two different life expectations. Yeah. So coming together on what we want as far as our life expectations. What do we want in terms of right now in the short term? What do we want in the future? And what are we willing to put off? What are we willing to keep? Right. What are we willing to sell? What are we willing to give away?
What are those non-negotiables?
What are those non-negotiables? The next one is inequality. Let's talk about inequality. Yeah, we hear this all the time. And now I'm starting to hear it different. Like when I grew up, it used to be that the man made all the money and stuff like that. You the man, you make the money, you bring the money to the house, you provide. Oh. Like that.
Yeah.
And so you the man, you make the decisions with the money.
You wear the pants.
The drawers. The drawers, that's not it?
No.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, man. Pants. All right. So I'm the man. And so here's the issue with that. It's like now that's not always the case in any way.
No, not in everybody.
And not in any way. It's two income households more often. And then now more often what I'm seeing is that the woman is making more than the man. That's what I see most of the time. Yeah. And so how do you make decisions in that environment?
The same way you would in the others. When you think?
I would think so. I don't know.
So does the woman wear the pants now because she make more
money? That's what I was asking you now.
Oh.
So I said the drawers now. If you make more money than me, do I now? I'm not in drawers and panties now. I'm just saying. Is that how it is? but you could feel like that.
You could.
And that's what I'm saying. It's
You
like
could.
sometimes you feel like,
Yeah.
okay, well, am I subject to you now because you make a little bit more money?
Because sometimes in the U.S. we have these stereotypes and the way the man's supposed to make all the money and all this and make the breadwinner per se.
Right.
But now when those tables have turned, it makes it a little bit harder to kind of get into that which is your master.
Which is your master? And
Which
this is
is
the
your
question.
master, yeah.
This goes back to the question.
Yes.
Is who is your master?
Yeah.
Have you mastered money, or has money mastered you? When we share our money together and we come together as one flesh and one bank account and $1, then in that lifestyle, it doesn't matter where the money's coming from.
That's right. It doesn't matter because it's y'all money. It don't matter who works what, however much coming in. It's y'all money.
How can one flesh end up with a power struggle with marriage, with money? I mean, just how can it happen? Is that mean how can that be one flesh and then we completely separate with our money? Well, this is your money and my money. Yeah. This makes no sense. I don't. So that one flesh, that means all of your time is meant to serve each other and serve the purpose that God has for y'all's life. So how in the world can we spend our time doing different things? Maybe I get a little bit more of my time is more monetized, or more of your time is more monetized. But how does that make us? Like how in the world should we not be all together? I still don't get it. I don't understand as a couple how you. I'm just flat out. I don't know. Y'all had to tell me in the chat. I don't understand how a couple can be married and not put their money together. Yeah, like I don't get it.
I mean, and we've heard different.
I still don't get it.
Points of view, but just from experience, like we've had separate bank accounts. Yeah, but that didn't work because, as John said before, I was over here in the negative and he's thinking I'm in the positive, and then not communicating.
We got bills to pay.
And now he look at me like, what?
Dang, Slim. Yeah.
But because of me not communicating like I should, or thinking, or even I don't even think we got to that part, but the infidelity part of keeping secrets and not being open and not being truthful and full outright with your partner leads to now it's some mistrust.
That's what I'm saying. And so we supposed to be one flesh. So we one flesh. We one flesh it. Yeah. One flesh. We one flesh it. And then we got our bank accounts. You got your money hidden. But here's the thing about infidelity, and this is the other thing, is that means that you out spending and you're not telling me nothing about it. Or I go buy some stuff and then I don't even tell you about it until you need some money, and I tell you why I don't have no money. It's because I spent and I bought this thing that you didn't know about. And then you feel like, hold on, come on. Or here's another form of infidelity. You want to go give some money to somebody in your family. Oh, listen. And I'm sitting over here like, hold on. You know what I'm going without? You know all the stuff I want to buy for me.
But then you want to just give this to
and that you got money to go and just, to whatever, all these things. That's infidelity. Yeah. If it's not talked about, that's infidelity. You broke my trust. Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel bad about that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm about to cry.
Don't cry, John. It's okay.
You shouldn't cry either. You should talk about it. And so communicating is what we've been able to do. But we've had some real hard conversations.
We have.
Where we didn't talk about where money was going. And it was bad because it was like those moments when you like, man, it's not even the money. You heard that term when they say it's not the money, it's the principle? That's one of those right here. It's not the money. It was like, dang, how you gonna spend this? And you didn't even ask me about it. You didn't even consider me. You didn't even think about it.
Yeah. And just to bring that to real life here for us, I'm share this story with you. Like, once me and John, we had been married a couple years, and I felt like I needed to go get my master's degree. Me, my happy little self, went and signed up, paying. Granted, master's degrees cost thousands of dollars. I did not even consult him or ask him, what he thinks about it. Is this something in our wheelhouse to do? I just went ahead and signed the papers. Miss Joy Mays, last name had changed, and that was an investment that took away from our household funds. And we was newly married then, so it can cause some mistrust because he was like, You didn't even ask me.
Of course, whatever it took to be able to have her feel educated and to be able to get to the place where she wants to be personally and even as a family. Of course, you're gonna be like, yeah, but it's like at least say something before we spend 40 grand.
Right.
It's like, all right, I'm about to go drop this 40,000-50,000. We was at this time, we didn't even have $100 in the bank account. No. And now we got 40 grand to go spend on this. And it was like, okay, you're gonna help me understand that. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times there's things that we do that if we don't talk about it in advance, then it ends up being a really, really bad and tight situation. Mm-hmm. So these are the 4 barriers. And if we overcome these barriers through having effective conversations, great communication, through us being able to have realistic expectations, for us being able to combine our bank accounts and combine our money thinking into one, and then overcoming the infidelities of the past. One, I want to say, I forgive you. Will you forgive me for my infidelity? Okay, just go ahead. Okay, all right. I got a little kiss out of that one. And so I'm telling you right now, as we go through this book together, we are going to talk in many ways about how to overcome the issues of the past financially, and also how to look forward to define what it is that you want for your marriage, your family, your financial outlook, and how to master your money so that your money is working for you and you're not working with all of your energy and putting it all into making the money.
Yes.
I don't want to see no more people out here that's like many that I know who are 30 years in, 20 years into working and don't see an end in sight.
Right.
Or even 15, 16 years in, and you're looking around like, I got a family, like what? How am I going to? I don't want to do whatever. You want to have options. You want to be able to do the different things. Many of you have so much purpose and so much vision, but don't have the finances to be able to back that. And so now is the opportunity in 2024 to be able to do something. So here's the question. This is your homework question that we have for you to ask. Ask each other this question. Which of those 4 barriers that we mentioned and that have you struggled with? Has it been communication problems? Has it been unrealistic expectations, inequality, or even just flat out mistrust, infidelity? Talk about it. And now's the time to get past it, come to a solution, come to an agreement on how you're going to move forward. And we're going to talk about that even more. And so many of you right now are interested in real estate, and you're not able to get on the same page mentally in order to get to the financial bag. And so that's why we do real estate coaching for married couples, is because it takes 2 together. And when you both get on the same page financially, and you're able to invest your money into things that are going to pay you in the future, it's going to take your marriage and your family and your finances to the next level. We're so passionate about that because we've seen it in our own lives and in many other couples' lives.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you, we are here to help you and we're here to support you. Please text us at 502-632-3005. That's the cell phone business number. You can text that number. You're not disturbing us. Text the number and we will text you back with a link. The link is designed for you to set up some time with us because we want to see you win, overcome infidelity, overcome communication issues, and to stop having money be your master and you being the master of your money. And now in 2024 is the time for you to master your money. And we are moving past.
Let's stay connected, y'all. Look, like our page, subscribe to our YouTube, like our pages, and then just shoot us some info and give us some suggestions, talk to us, let us know what you think. And answer the question.
Answer this question. So once again, we're going to get you with the question is which of those barriers that we talked about have you struggled with? Because we putting that stuff in the past. We buried it. Because in 2024, it's time for us to come up. It's time for us to go to a whole nother level. Your investing game going to another level. Your love, your passion game to another level. When you forgive infidelity, do you know how passionate your marriage gets? When you forgive that, come on. When you start having those real deep conversations, that's intimacy.
Yes.
You'll fool around and be up in some stuff you never even imagined, all because you learn how to talk to each other and invest together. So we truly believe that the one of the many ways that we have to be able to unite in marriage is to get so excited about a shared vision for the future, to get so excited about something greater in the future that we get a chance to do together. And that's why we are real estate coaches and business coaches for married couples, is because we want to see marriages win in their finances, that there are no financial barriers that are going to stop you. In 2024, this is the year that your finances are going to go to a whole nother level. If you have these conversations, if you're ready to communicate, if you're ready to get on the same page with those same expectations, forgiving each other, and becoming one flesh financially. One flesh financially.
Yes.
We might open up a new business called One Flesh Financial. I like that. Come on. That's the next thing. Don't steal our stuff either, because that's
also, if you want to get the book and follow along with us when we go through, text that same number.
Yeah.
And we can get you, and you can.
Yep, you can text this number 502-632-3005 if you would like to go through this book. We're just going through it over the course of this year. We're going to go through it just like we went through chapter 1 now. You can go through that with us. Just text that number. We'll send you a link and we'll ship that book out right to your door. But we're excited for you. We're excited for your marriage, your future. We're excited for your finances. We're excited to see what God's going to do inside of everything that y'all touch. But for now, that's a wrap. This has been Wealthy Marriage Wednesday. It's a blast. And we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
And many blessings to you. All right.